So very recently, I uploaded a video talking about the current situation of the Jak and Daxter series. In that video, I went over some concept arts which surfaced the internet a few months ago. Now at one point, when fans saw those, they thought that, oh, Jak 4 is going to happen. That's not the case. Unfortunately, Naughty Dog's Arn Mayer shot down those rumors. Jak 4 is not in the works. Now that video was also about questions. Questions like, could Naughty Dog eventually go back to Jak and Daxter? Could they release some sort of collection for the PlayStation 4? Now unfortunately, it really does seem like that Naughty Dog is no longer interested with the series. And why am I saying this? Well, Naughty Dog gave us a pretty clear answer back in 2015. And honestly guys, the answer they gave us, I don't know, it's pretty sad. A lot of you might get upset over this. I know some of you already know about this, but I'm just saying. Now before I get into that, I'd like to go over this quote from 2012. It's pretty old I guess, but it still gives us an idea. Back then, Naughty Dog was trying to come up with ideas for Jak and Daxter for the PlayStation 3. According to co-president Evan Wells, the team really thought about bringing Jak and Daxter for the PlayStation 3, and this was back then. We'd all talked about it in interviews with fans asking, where's the next Jak and Daxter? I don't know if this is going to make them happy or sad, but we did explore the idea fairly extensively. Something that we talked about early on was, let's go back and apply what we've learned with the Uncharted games to Jak and Daxter. It's one of the franchises that's near and dear to us, and in all honesty, we'd like to somehow honor. Naughty Dog really did try. Going back to the series, they tried coming up with a bunch of ideas. Back in 2014, Naughty Dog featured a bunch of concept arts for Jak 4 in their book called The Art of Naughty Dog. Unfortunately, it seemed like they didn't know what to do with the series anymore. They tried implementing stuff they've learned from the Uncharted series. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out so well. Those projects were considered undeveloped. They were just ideas. At a point, Naughty Dog told themselves, this is not going to work, we don't know what to do with the series anymore. They tried turning Jak and Daxter realistic, but Naughty Dog felt like it wasn't the right thing to do. And this brings me to the second part of the quote. Even if we felt like we're going to give the fans another Jak and Daxter, we felt we weren't going to give them the game that they wanted. We would end up limiting the direction that the company had this passion for while simultaneously not creating the game that fans wanted. We just realized we were going to just do everybody a disservice. So at that point, the conversation started to move in a new direction. So Naughty Dog realized the direction they were headed towards wasn't the right thing to do. We saw a bunch of concept arts. We realized what Naughty Dog was thinking about back then. When fans saw those concept arts, a lot of them got upset and a lot of them got confused. Their reactions were basically like, this isn't Jak and Daxter, what was Naughty Dog thinking? In 2012, Naughty Dog realized that the game they would be working on wouldn't be a game which fans would have wanted. Okay, yes, I read a few comments, and some of you were interested with the whole idea of Jak and Daxter becoming realistic. Look, it looks interesting, alright? But I think that the majority of fans would prefer a Jak and Daxter game that's similar to the style they grew up with. I might be completely mistaken. But look, even Naughty Dog themselves realized that what they were trying to work with just wasn't the right thing to do. They considered it as a disservice. Okay, if they considered it a disservice, then why not make a game which fans would love? Why not just change the style and move to a style which everyone would love? Well, here's the thing guys. These days, Naughty Dog prefers working on mature and realistic games. That's it, that's all. In 2015, Naughty Dog's Josh Scher gave us a clear answer on the current situation. Someone asked Naughty Dog if they missed working on cartoonish and stylized games. Guys, the answer Naughty Dog gave us, in my opinion, is pretty sad and disappointing. Here it is. No, I don't. Because we've got an amazing team of people making some really expressive performances with our current stable of realistic characters. I mean, animating the stylized stuff is a lot of fun, but the stories that we are trying to tell right now are a little bit more grounded and a little bit more grown up than they were back in the Jak and Daxter days. I understand, really, Naughty Dog enjoys working on mature realistic games. Why leave behind a series like Jak and Daxter? I understand, they consider it cartoony. It is cartoony, but the series has a lot of potential. Simply leaving it behind is just very sad. If they want to make it a bit more mature, why not just add in some serious and dark moments? You don't necessarily have to turn the game completely realistic. It's like Naughty Dog is saying that adults just enjoy mature and realistic games like The Last of Us and Uncharted. I don't think that's completely true. A stylized and cartoony game can target both a younger audience and an adult audience. In the end, guys, it's all about ambition and love. Like someone mentioned in the comment section, you need to have love and ambition when you're working on a game. If in the future, Naughty Dog decides to bring us Jak 4, it might probably be due to fan service. Maybe that's a good thing. But think again, guys. They're doing it for fan service. They're simply doing it to please fans. If that's the case, then the game might feel completely rushed, and fans might realize that once they play the game. Why even want a sequel if the company doesn't enjoy working on the game, right? Although they might be working on a new sequel, ask yourselves this: do they still have the love they used to have? Are we talking about the same team? Now, a lot of you in the comment section mentioned that a lot of the old workers who worked on Jak and Daxter simply moved on. They no longer work for Naughty Dog. It may be completely true, and this might explain why Naughty Dog is no longer interested with the Jak and Daxter series. All the old workers moved on, and the current team focuses on mature games. That's it. Guys, I haven't actually gone over the whole quote. The person then asked Naughty Dog if this was due to members simply getting older. Naughty Dog replied, "I think that's part of it. I think that it's also dictated by what the market wants too. You know, that was a lot of what our decision was bounded by and based on when moving from Jak and Daxter to something more like Uncharted. And it's also what we're interested in too. And it's also what we're interested in too." There you have it, folks. That's the answer we've all been waiting for. Naughty Dog is no longer interested with games such as Jak and Daxter. In my previous video, I mentioned if Naughty Dog was simply following the gaming industry. It seems so. Naughty Dog mentioned the market. I understand mature, realistic games, games which have absolutely crazy graphics, are appealing. No doubt about that. But there's just this thing called variety. Look at Insomniac Games. They have both. They had Resistance. They're focusing on VR games, mature, realistic games. We have Ratchet and Clank. They have all of them. Why doesn't Naughty Dog do the same? Guys, it's very simple. I've mentioned it 50 times in this video already. They're not interested. Jak and Daxter is great. It has a lot of potential, but the company is no longer interested. They enjoy what they're doing now, and that's very important. I understand. If you enjoy what you're making, fans will also enjoy it. So there you have it, folks. Naughty Dog moved on. Jak 4 will still remain a mystery, unless another developer picks up the series. After all, Sony owns the rights. Sony might decide to give this opportunity to another developer. Now, who could that developer be? Didn't Ready at Dawn develop Daxter? Didn't a lot of you enjoy that game? I know I did. What would you say about Ready at Dawn developing Jak 4? Tell me what you think, guys, in the comment section. If not Ready at Dawn, who do you think can deliver a great sequel? Think about that. You know what's very sad, guys? A lot of people discovered Naughty Dog not just because of Crash Bandicoot, but because of Jak and Daxter as well. Not getting a sequel is pretty sad. I know, they moved on. But letting go of a series such as Jak and Daxter, I just don't know. It's sad. If they don't want to handle it, simply let someone else handle it. In the end, Sony decides. No one knows what Sony's gonna do in the future. If they do decide to let someone else develop it, then great, that's awesome. But seeing the series die like this, it's very disappointing. But who knows really, the series might simply just be dead. Anyways, guys, tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think that the Jak and Daxter series will always remain dead? What would you think about Ready at Dawn developing Jak 4? Leave everything in the comments. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thanks for watching, guys.